Imagine a piece of tech with no apps, no screen and no GPS. And the moment you stop paying for it, it becomes completely useless. Sounds really strange, right? But for professional athletes like LeBron James and Michael Phelps, it's a secret weapon. This is the story of Whoop and how they built a $10 billion empire by making hardware almost invisible. The story starts in 2012 when Will Ahmed, the CEO of Whoop, was the captain of Harvard's squash team. Will had the drive, the discipline, and access to some of the best coaches on the planet. But no matter how hard he tried, his performance was always unpredictable. Will started digging and read over 500 medical papers to understand the secret behind peak performance. His research kept circling back to just one overlooked metric: heart rate variability. It wasn't about how fast your heart beats, it was about those tiny millisecond differences between those beats that mattered. It was body's secret language for stress and recovery. Whoop launched its first commercial product in 2015 at a whooping cost of $500. The price was completely irrational for a tracking band with no screen or buttons. But until you realize that it was intentional. See, they weren't going for a mass market product, they were building it for elites. And how Whoop reached them is a completely different story. Instead of pitching directly to the athletes, Whoop targeted their gatekeepers, their high performance trainers. Whoop told them that they could predict and avoid injuries before they even happened. It worked, and almost overnight, Whoop landed on the wrists of LeBron James and Michael Phelps. Even with the world's best athletes on board, Whoop was falling straight into the hardware trap. Most tech companies live and die with this one-time transactions. You build a device, you sell it, and hope that a customer will return every 2 years for an upgrade. But for a device with no screen or flashy interface, there is no real reason for anyone to upgrade. So 2 years after launching the band, the company was at a crossroad. They had arguably the best physiological data in existence, but their user base was hitting a ceiling. Then they did something that no other wearable company has successfully been able to do before. They gave the device for free with a $30 subscription. Whoop realized that their biggest USP isn't their hardware, it's their data, it's the intelligence that they have built over it. The insights that they were able to show were not available anywhere else, making this subscription extremely valuable for serious athletes. Then something happened that no business model could have ever predicted. In June 2020, during the PGA Tour restart, golfer Nick Watney noticed something strange on his Whoop app. His respiratory rate has spiked sharply overnight. Although he felt fine, he trusts the app and gets tested for COVID-19. And it comes back positive. The story went viral, and in that moment, Whoop transitioned from being a fitness tool to an early warning system. This was a shift from performance to health. The pandemic that destroyed so many different businesses acted as the greatest growth catalyst for Whoop. They kept building and launched Whoop 4.0. It arrived with a smaller sensor that could be amended into any piece of clothing. They also partnered with OpenAI to launch Whoop Coach. Now you could have conversations about your own biology and ask questions such as whether you should train today or not. This was the first real implementation of generative AI in personal health. It pushed their valuation past $10 billion by early 2026. They looked unstoppable until the model that built them started to show cracks. The hardware subscription model became a point of intense controversy. The critics started calling it the subscription prison. The moment you stop paying for the device, it becomes a literal brick. You are essentially renting your own data. And then came a harder blow. A class action lawsuit alleged that Whoop has been using third-party trackers to sell sensitive health data without user consent. For a company asking for a medical-grade trust, this scandal is the direct hit to their reputation. With this, Whoop stands at another crossroad. They have proven that the subscription model worked for their hardware, and that the data is worth more than the silicon. While they prepare for their massive IPO, the question isn't about their valuation, it's about their identity. Can they still remain an elite secret weapon while also functioning as a billion-dollar corporation? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.